Okay, we are back this time, and hopefully we've got our technical issues worked out. I'm Dan Stein, president of FAIR, and I'm joined today by R.J. Hauman, FAIR's Government Relations Director, and we're going to be talking about crisis on the Hill, taking action. There's a time to rest and there's a time to take action. Today is a time for action. But first, I want to remind you that tomorrow at about 1 o'clock, we're going to be talking to the author of FAIR's new groundbreaking sanctuary report. It shows that half of all Americans today live in a sanctuary jurisdiction. That means that the state and local police are not effectively protecting them from criminal aliens. They're not properly responding to ICE detention holds, detainer holds, and that this is a threat to public safety. You'll be wanting to hear that from the author of the report herself, Sherry Rendell. She'll be here with me at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Also, tomorrow, the Orange County mayors in that city who've been signing on to lawsuits to challenge that state's illegal anti-enforcement measures are going to be here in Washington. They're going to be visiting President Trump. They're going to be here, and you won't want to miss that. We're going to bring you up-to-date information about what's happening up there. However, as you see from the phone number behind me, RJ, we are all very concerned about this discharge petition that we talked about last week gaining sponsors. This would basically allow the Democrats, because of a bunch of Vichy Republicans, turncoat Republicans who want to push DACA to bring up a series of 4 bills, as we talked about last time. Don't be dissuaded by the so-called Queen of the Hill 4-bill gambit. It's only going to produce a DACA amnesty, millions of people, or at least hundreds of thousands of people, with no compensating promises delivered to President Trump or the American people in terms of future control. So we don't want to support the discharge petition. And here to tell us more is RJ. So what's going on?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Dan. Again, we did a Facebook Live on this last week where we kind of ran through the current dynamics on the Hill and what the discharge petition is. For people that probably didn't see that, I just want to run through it one more time so everybody understands out there. Now, this is a complex procedural maneuver that is rarely used, and a lot of people don't understand it, and that's why it's so reprehensible with how this effort, how they're doing it, how they're going about trying to ram an amnesty down the throats of the American people. So last Tuesday, Congressman Carlos Curbelo of Florida, a very, very pro-amnesty Republican, filed what's known as a discharge petition to trigger a series of votes called Queen of the Hill. The Queen of the Hill is a resolution that was introduced by Congressman Jeff Denham, also another pro-amnesty Republican out of California, that would have a series of 4 votes on 4 different amnesty bills, with the bill that getting the most votes would essentially win and go to the Senate for consideration. Now, those 4 bills, the first one obviously is the Securing America's Future Act. The Goodlatte bill, which is probably the best of these proposals out there, contains a lot of good things. However, it would never pass. The second bill would be the DREAM Act of 2017, again, which is an amnesty for upwards of 3 million people. In no way is it a DACA replacement, and also contains absolutely zero trade-offs to prevent future illegal immigration and chain migration down the line. The third bill that would be voted on is called the USA Act, introduced by Congressman Will Hurd, which again is a massive amnesty in exchange for things like drones and a study on border security. And then
phony enforcement.
Phony enforcement doesn't do a thing. It's just an amnesty straight up under the guise of
But Democrats aren't going to vote for any of these.
No, they're not. So here's the thing. And then the fourth bill would be a bill chosen by the Speaker, which would theoretically would be the bill that mirrors the president's framework, which was the Grassley bill in the Senate, which was rejected over there. Only 39 people voted for it. But here's the deal. The one bill that will pass, you just look at, numbers don't lie here. Under the Goodlatte bill, you have about 95 co-sponsors, all Republicans. The DREAM Act, 202 co-sponsors, 6 Republicans, and all 196 Democrats. The USA Act, 59 co-sponsors, 29 Republicans, 30 Democrats. Just based on numbers, what is going to pass here is likely the DREAM Act. And then the second bill with the second strongest chance of passing would likely be the USA Act. So by moving forward with this discharge petition to force the votes on these 4 bills, we are going to get a no-strings mass amnesty. It's a guarantee. So here's where we are with the discharge petition. Right now, you need 25 House Republicans to sign the discharge petition, assuming then that all Democrats will come aboard at the last minute and sign it, which we're already seeing some tweets today. Now that Congress is back in session today, these guys are ramping up their push. You have House Democrats are urging their fellow pro-amnesty Republicans to sign on to this, and then the Republican co-conspirators are working around the clock to get support on. But right now, where
so in an election year, right, where Republicans are
Right.
trying to run hard on the Democrats being weak on immigration,
Right.
why would a handful of Republicans want to jam a bill through for all the Democrats to pass?
Oh, you might need to you got to ask them that, Dan. I have no clue. This is not what the American people asked for when they sent Republicans to Washington. They gave Republicans both chambers of Congress. They gave Republicans the White House. They weren't calling for this mass amnesty. And again, right now,
That's what Sean Webb says, no mass amnesty. Kenneth Sharp, mass amnesty, no, no, no.
Absolutely not. But we're in a dangerous situation right now, everybody, and that's why we want everybody to understand this. President Trump is going to Capitol Hill actually today to meet with House leadership and Senate leadership as well on this very topic. And right now, even though Paul Ryan has been a thorn in our side and hasn't been very friendly to us on the immigration issue in the past, House leadership is actually working hard because they do not want this discharge petition to go through, because they understand that you, the voters out there, will punish Republicans in the midterm elections if they deliver, if that's just simply a no strings amnesty. But here's where we are today. Again, 25 Republicans is all they need to get this discharge petition moving forward. Right now, they're at 18. 7 more. Congress is back in session today, and you know that Jeff Denham, Carlos Curbelo, Will Hurd, they're all out there trying to tell their colleagues, come on, sign on to this discharge petition. That's where you step in, and that's why we have this handy number up here. Again, you dial this number, Dan will answer the phone with a recording telling you exactly what to say, what's going on Capitol Hill right now, and then all you do is enter your zip code and you're patched right through to your member of Congress to tell them that you oppose the discharge petition, that they should not sign it, and that they should focus on things that the American people need when it comes to immigration.
And as
Border
Sandy
security.
says, remind them that they work for you.
Right.
They work for you.
Right. They should be focusing on things like border security, interior enforcement, mandatory e-verify, making some fundamental changes to our legal immigration system, like ending chain migration, the visa lottery. Those should be the priorities of Congress, not a no-strings DACA amnesty via a complex procedural maneuver.
So why wouldn't, say, in response to this, Ryan agree to bring up the Goodlatte bill and send that to the floor right now?
That would be a great question. And we hope that President Trump is leading them and encouraging them to do that. And we believe though.
Sandra Prater called. Thank you, Sandra.
Everybody should call.
Everybody
should call. No, we've heard numerous times that Majority Whip Steve Scalise is still whipping the Goodlatte bill. And we don't believe the Goodlatte bill has all the votes right now, but we know that leadership is working hard to whip it, which makes this this is why this makes so little sense, is give leadership the chance to move forward on that before resulting to some complex procedural maneuver that just gives Democrats what they want and the American people absolutely nothing.
Michael Howard says, don't they just work for big business? I mean, in order to get the Goodlatte bill, don't we have to give some big guest worker program to agriculture?
No, we don't.
Crab pickers and all that
No, we
stuff?
don't. We should give the American people what they demanded when they elected President Trump and sent many Republicans to Washington. Of course, you have all the usual suspects, all the open borders pro-amnesty groups are urging people to call their elected official to tell them to sign this discharge petition. The Chamber of Commerce is supporting it. Again, this is something that, that we're at 18 people right now. It's just 7 more. There are 30 to 40
Where can people find the list of Republicans who've signed on?
Go to fairus.org under the legislation section. One of the top stories up there goes into this, and there's a link to the discharge petition on there. And you can see if your member has signed on. And again, all you have to do is call the number. Even if your member of Congress, you find out that they have signed on, urge them to get their name off of it. Tell them that if they sign on to this, you will remember when you go to the polls in November. So again, everybody needs to call 202-883-8488 today. Urge your member of Congress not to sign Congressman Curpello's discharge petition to force a vote on 4 amnesty bills.
You had some breaking news you wanted to share?
No, our breaking news wasn't essentially breaking news. It was just that we're seeing on social media right now, Democrats are ramping up a push, urging Republicans, come on, sign the discharge petition. All Democrats will sign. They keep saying this, that all Democrats will sign, which was our fear, that once you hit 25 Republicans, again, we're at 18, that all the Democrats are going to come en masse and all sign on to this thing and then trigger the series of votes on the Queen of the Hill bills. And it's almost a guarantee that a mass amnesty bill will pass the House of Representatives.
So do we know what President Trump is planning to do in response to this?
Well, we'll have some more clarity today, and obviously you can stay tuned to us here at FAIR to let you know everything that is going on here on Capitol Hill. But the one thing you just need to do right now, again, is use this handy number to call your representative and urge them to oppose and not sign the discharge petition.
All right, well, let us know when you call. We'd love to hear from you. Got all your comments here. They're all excellent. They're all right on point. Clearly, you're opposed to what they're saying. No discharge petition. Republicans should not sign on to a vehicle that's going to allow the Democrats to effectively run the House. So don't sit here and listen to us anymore, as much as interesting as we are. Get on the phone, call this number right away. We're counting on you. Thank you very much.